Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today we are out here in the desert where we seem to always be now. And today we're going to try and answer a question which is a bit, well, I'll need your opinions. So let me know down in the comments what you think during this video. But today we're going to see if, well, my girlfriend's truck is cooler than mine. We both got truck campers, very kind of similar setups, but generations apart, both the campers and the trucks. So today we're gonna do more of a deep dive into her rig, more so than mine. If you guys are new to the channel, I have hundreds of truck camping videos. You should go check them out and get familiar with my rig, but today it's about hers. So Morgan, you ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, also, before we get down to business, had some of y'all in the comments a couple videos ago give me a little beef about my straw hat and freaking March, man. All right, so today I brought out the Stetson felt. I hope that makes you a bit happier. I think it's a bit weird telling another grown man what kind of hat he should wear.
Yep.
It's kind of like telling another man what kind of underwear
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Just you ought not do that. So we're gonna dive into Morgan's truck and let us know down in the comments what you think. So my truck aside, we're gonna deep dive into Morgan's truck here and start with like what the truck is, so that way you guys are on the same page as us, and then we'll dive into the camper.
This is my truck.
You ready?
Yeah. I have a very beautiful 2023 Toyota Tacoma. It is a TRD off-road. I took the badging off the back just because I don't care for that. I don't like all the extra things. We have upgraded wheels. I have Method 703s on here. They're bronze. Right now they don't really look bronze, but they are very pretty. And then I did get some new tires. They are just a little bit more aggressive than what was on there from the factory. They are Wild Peak AT4s, and they're the same like dimensions and everything overall, but the offset's just a little different, so it pokes out a little bit more and just makes the truck not look like a floating spaceship, because the stock ones look like they're a floating spaceship. It is an automatic. I wish it was a stick shift. The time I bought it, it was the literal tail end of when they were manufacturing the 2023, and now they have the new 2024 and onward with the new engine. I did not want that, so I had to take what I could get. So it's an automatic. I do have about 53,000 miles on it already. We've done 2 coast-to-coast road trips, so quite a bit of miles on here. In the back, I do have something that Connor doesn't, which is a rear differential locker. And then I also have this really cool button I haven't played with yet, but it's the sand crawl. Like if you get stuck, it'll like crawl you out. There is sand dunes here, but I don't think we can drive on them. So hopefully sometime this year we will find a way to use that button, because I saved a YouTube video on it. It's even in my downloads, so I know how to use it even if I don't have service. So I'm excited to try that. Now let's come take a look at the back and the camper and see how I've outfitted this.
We've covered the truck. Now tell us a little bit about the camper. What is it? Where'd you find it? How long have you had it?
This is a Go Fast camper. It is the V2 model, so it is slightly older than Connor's. Quite a bit different, really, with it. I bought it not last summer. It's going to be 2 years.
Yeah, I had it 2 summers.
Yep, so this is going to be the second summer with this camper. I actually bought it on Facebook Marketplace and got a smoking deal on it. I paid $5,000 for this. I will say there's been a lot of money put into it to fix it. There's a ton of like water seal leaking issues that we had to fix, redo the heater cord, all that. But it has been a really good camper for a lot of reasons, and you'll see why I like the inside of it so much. I got it in Boulder, Colorado. I was actually in Colorado, and I had a complete different setup on this, different bed build out and everything. And Connor and I had been looking at these for his truck, and he's like, Morgan, he was in Tennessee at the time. He's like, I found one on Marketplace. You should, ask the guy if he'll take a little less for it, whatever. So by the end of the day, I was in Boulder. I had shedded my old topper, had to take out all kinds of stuff in here. I didn't get back to where I was until about 3 a.m, but I was left with this, and I'm very happy about it.
It's kind of funny because it really comes down to what you want out of a truck camper. I and Morgan both rocked cheap well, mine was cheap fiberglass shells for years and camped out of those. When Morgan says she got this for a smoking deal at $5,000, to some people, you're going to be like, that's ridiculous. $5,000 for a shell?
But even the fiberglass shell, like I had the cheapest Model Lear that you could put on this, and it was, I think, $2,700.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the functionality and you're getting a bed, it's cheap.
So if you're not familiar with pop-top campers, this style of camper, Go Fast Camper, all that stuff, if you're looking to order a brand new one, you're probably spending close to $9,000 and up, depending on what features you decide to go with. So I want to preface this by saying it's for a certain type of person, and I would never, ever, ever recommend this style of camper to anyone who only goes camping twice a year. If you're using this, which we do, we go camping multiple times a month. We've camped out of them or lived out of them for a month at a time. It's a great option, but don't spend that kind of money if you don't actually go camping. Save it for gas to get to cool spots. With GFCs, there's a ton of options for features, additions, modifications, both from GFC as well as a ton of awesome people out there in the community who 3D print parts and just support the Go Fast Camper community, as well as like Super Pacific. But you've got actually a number of little modifications on here. What do you have?
I do. I have this really incredible handle, which I didn't know I needed until I had it.
From my buddy at 3D Proto Labs, by the way, go check them out.
This is really nice because to open these campers, you have 2 locks on either side. And until I had the handle, I just do this. And it's not, like, that's not ideal. You're pulling on the locking mechanism itself. So it's really nice to now have this, and it just opens a lot nicer too. Because when the truck is clean, there's not a coating of dust on it, the seal will actually like stick to the truck bed. So sometimes, you know, you're over here like really doing this to get it to loosen up. So really love this. I have a couple bubble levels. I have one on this side, so it's measuring this plane here. Then there's another one on this side, which is measuring like your front to back. I do have a leveling, what would you call that, display in my truck?
Yeah,
just like built in.
Digital display in your truck.
But it's nicer if you're already like parked, because then when you turn the truck off, then that's gone. So really like these a lot. They're pink because I'm a girl. Yours are yellow.
Put a link down to my buddy who also 3D prints these. Like I'm telling you guys, I know quite a number of people in this community that make and print from their home 3D printed products for these trucks. So I'll put his thing right there.
And then the last one is these latch covers. These are from GFC. I didn't have any, right?
No, the V2 never came with them. And I don't know what you're about to say about them, but I think GFC needs to go back to the drawing board.
I would agree.
With these. I think it's honestly, everything about it works, but the material they used, I think.
It's too stiff.
Yeah.
Like if it's cold, when we were in Tennessee and we were packing up to move out here, it was like frozen. And this plastic, rubber, whatever this is supposed to be, was so rigid and so hard you literally could not undo this. So
maybe they've updated it. I don't know. But when we got these, yeah, and right now it's 75 degrees out, blatant bright sun. This panel is probably 90 plus degrees with it being black. And these are still like, I cannot easily.
Because you have to kind of like tuck it around all 4 back corners of it. So I don't ever close it like that. I just put it on the first 2. And it's like, it's kind of mated back here, but it's not a dust cover, which is what I bought it for.
You've seen the truck, you've seen the outside. Let me know down in the comments right now, is Morgan's truck cooler than mine? We're gonna dive inside and see how she has set up her camper, because I think this is where I'm gonna lose a lot of you and you're gonna go Team Morgan. So let's dive in here, use this beautiful handle after I unlock it and see what's inside.
Okay, I'm gonna address this first because this needs to be addressed. I purposely left this like this. You can see this is supposed to be over here. Before I had the GFC and I had just the fiberglass, I had a wooden floor, a wooden headboard, and then like a wooden storage cubby over here, and everything was screwed together so the bed couldn't move, which I didn't realize how much I needed until this is happening all the time. So this needs to be addressed, but I mean, it does just push back over. Aside from that, this is great. This was a really simple build. We did this, I think, in just one day over a weekend. Everything's from Home Depot. It costs maybe $120, and that includes, I did put a stain and then a seal on this as well, just to make it waterproof, I guess, for lack of a better word. In the back, that whole top cover comes off, and I have storage for bedding in there. I have storage for clothes. One thing I really found helpful that I did not do my first year, I had like a clothes bin in here. It was just too big, too much. I bought a little tiny, I think it's actually like a shoebox from Walmart. It doesn't have a top on it. I just put the top underneath, and I roll all of my clothes in there. You can fit an entire weekend's worth of clothes, and they fit right up under there. So they're not getting dirty. They're not getting dusty. It's a really good spot for them. And then the rest of this is the kitchen. So we have your normal Coleman cook stove here, most commonly used utensils, coffee mug, tea. I don't drink coffee. I do have this really incredible fan. I will see if Connor can link this for you. We both have one. This will last you for like a week on one charge. It is incredible. And with the dog, it is much needed. This has been great because I can put everything in there and then I just shut it. That's one thing that I don't care for about Connor's current build, is that he doesn't have a permanent place for things. We're dealing with like more bin storage in there. But yeah, this is excellent. Like emergency snacks in there, all kinds of extra goodies. For the other interior goodies, I have this Vever fridge. This has been incredible. I have had this for longer than I've been truck camping, so probably pushing 3 years. And it does come with a DC and AC cord. I use DC with my setup that I've got in here just because it's more efficient. I have a Blue Eddy. Nope, I have an Anchor battery. I have an Anchor battery back in the corner there, and we can maybe show you how we ran the solar kit all the way over to it, and then it hooks in on the back side. And then I've just got my normal tool storage there. That's just for everything, really. That's all of my tools because I don't have that many tools. So I leave them in the truck just so that we need them if we're at camp or something. Then I've got a fire extinguisher. Connor just mounted that for me. Haven't had to use it yet, so fingers crossed we will not have to use it. And then I have my really nice fairy twinkle lights, which I almost never use, but they're really nice to have because I don't have any like interior lighting kits like the new GFCs do. And then there's just a USB cord there. I just got these on Amazon for like $12. They were really cheap. And it just, when I lower that cord there, it just plugs right into the battery bank, and that's that.
There are some differences between the V2 and the V2 Pro, although their names are very close. There are some changes that GFC made to them, and Morgan's got the older version, non-Pro. And so, yeah, she didn't get a lighting kit, and, you know, she's got her girly little twinkle lights, which it is a vibe when they're on. I'm not going to lie. It's a vibe. And mine, almost, you feel more like you're in a lab, like a laboratory than in a camper. So I will give you that. But next up, we want to kind of go over the solar setup because hers is a little different than mine. Very similar, but still different.
This is my pride and joy solar panel. This is a Renogy 250 watt, and it is a bifacial panel. What that means, you can see how white this is. And in the sun, it reflects a lot of light. So there's actually solar underneath here that's collecting that light that is bouncing up off of this. It's probably very minimal, but for not wanting to put an entire massive solar panel on here, I wanted to get just like a little bit more if I could, because we couldn't fit two up here. We tried to figure out how that might work. It had to just be one. So this is an incredible solar panel. I've never had any problems with any kind of power, any malfunction of any kind. So really, really highly recommend that panel. And then over here, I do also have a Starlink mount that has also been really incredible. Last year when we were living out of these trucks for a month, I have a 9-to-5 job. So that was what allowed us really to come out here was Starlink. And then Connor was using it to edit as well. And this thing, when the Starlink is up here, I was super worried about like driving down the highway or anything. This will move the entire truck before it moves off of the roof mount. So yeah, really not a lot up here, but very important things that are up here.
And if you can see on my truck while we're up here, I've got a much bigger solar panel, but they're actually the same power level, the same wattage. They're both 250 watts. I just got mine for $50 from someone who yanked 30 of them off the roof of their house and was selling them. So Both work. Morgan's is a lot smaller, which is nice. Mine's massive and probably a lot heavier. Now you've seen the inside of the camper. I think, like I was saying before, I've already lost some of your votes and they're probably going that way. But here's another key point. I decided to stop rocking an awning, mainly because I never freaking used it. And my truck is old and slow, and I need every ounce of horsepower and fuel economy I can get. So you're in a little bit of a different situation. You have kept your awning, although I can only say I've seen you put it up once. Regrets?
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things you're like, oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be so much extra room. If it rains, you know, there's somewhere to go and you're at camp, which I will say the one time we had it up during like one whole trip. So it was like a couple weeks worth. And there were times that it rained and hailed and I'm sitting out under it playing on my Nintendo and you were hunkered down in your truck. So it is nice for that. But where we're at now in Colorado, it's really windy. So it's just, those aren't built for like heavy duty wind like we have here.
Yeah. There are nicer awnings, but this is not one of the top two. It's not bad. It's not cheap.
$200.
Yeah. But it's just not one of those really beefy ones that's meant to withstand a ton of wind.
I think a very important thing to point out with having a build like this of any kind down here, I have a place to stealth camp. And there has been a couple times that we've been in places where I didn't want to pop the GFC or it was really cold. I don't have a diesel heater, so Hank and I just bundled up down here and left the tent closed. So there's a little bit more insulation up top there. And it was just really nice to have an actual place to sleep. And I do have a foam, I think it's like a 2 or 3 inch mattress and it's like a tri-folding, but it's the whole width and length of this. So that's like a nice full-size bed down here. So that's another reason that this to me is, this will always be in my truck.
I used to have a wooden build out actually just like that. And back, especially when I had my fiberglass shell, it was really nice to have a platform that wasn't directly on the floor of the truck bed to sleep on. It did warm things up. It was actually a nice place to sit down. I do miss having something like that in my current build, but whenever I do actually need to stealth camp, like I had to this past summer when I was out on my way to Overland of America, there were a couple times where I had to sleep in the bottom of the truck and I kind of just made do. I literally just threw out a couple blankets. Luckily it wasn't freezing cold out and just slept on the floor. So not ideal. I do see why you like it. Curious what you guys think. Would you prefer to have a build out dedicated to sleeping on, storing things? But it's kind of, I mean, you can pull it out, but it is kind of permanently affixed in the back of the truck. Whereas mine, if I want to empty out my entire truck bed, it takes me about 5 to 6 minutes to pull the fridge out, the power bank, and my lovely Home Depot tote full of all my kitchenware. So let me know, would you guys like this setup or something a little more versatile? So now's your time to chime in, put it down in the comments. Let's give them some keywords here. Let's do.
If you say winner, I know you're talking about me.
All right, that's salty. So we'll say Morgan, Connor. That's all you have to do, one word. Let us know down in the comments which rig you like more, and we'll kind of tally it up and maybe in the next video put the numbers together, crunch them, and see who comes out on top. Thank you all so much for being here and watching the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give a thumbs up. I've already mentioned the comments, so you do you in the comments. And if you're new here, think about subscribing, super easy. And I think you'll like the content that we put out. So we'll see you in the next one. Keep elevating, my friends. We love you. Adios.